Hello, this is Will of the Budget Knitter Podcast channel. Today I'm here giving you a review of some budget crochet hooks compared with a higher end crochet hook. And so today, I have them here. We have two hooks from Hobby Lobby, and these are the Yarnology crochet hooks. They're both called Luxury Crochet Hook. One has a more ergonomic, kind of fun design. This one has a nice floral design. It's ergonomic, but definitely not as long. And then this is actually a Furls crochet hook. It is one of the nicer, higher end hooks. This hook itself costs probably, I think the website said it was $16, and that's per hook. You buy these individually. And then this blue one here was $5.99 at Hobby Lobby, and then this one was $2.99 at Hobby Lobby. So these are two more budget-friendly options, and then this is your higher-end hook, if that is what you're looking for. So today is not my review of any specific hook. It is a comparison of the three hooks together, and then I'll tell you my favorite at the end. So first thing about the hooks kind of upon first glance. So this is the $2.99 hook, and all of these hooks are 6.5 millimeter, or US size K. So the first thing is this grip is, it's actually a grip. It's not too slick. It's actually something nice to hold on to. It's not a slippery material. The only thing is it does collect dirt, and so it feels like it's shedding, but that's not a huge problem. The rest of this is made of plastic. It's a really nice plastic. It doesn't appear to have that molding line. I can see it here slightly, but I don't believe it's going to have much of that. You're not going to see much of that. And that was true of the other hooks of this type that I saw at my local Hobby Lobby. So this is a plastic. It's nice and smooth. Does have a little bit of a grip to it, but nice and thin, long shaft, very good hook here, and a good point on it. Nice and long, fits in your hand really well depending on how you hold it. Some people hold their hooks like this. I hold mine like a knife. It fits in the hand really well. I really like the way this feels in the hand. So yeah, that's the first one. That's the $2.99 hook. The second hook is this one. This is the one that's got more of the fancy luxury design for the handle. It's a little shorter in comparison, and you'll notice here that the shaft is not nearly as long, and it has all of these bulbous features. I don't know if that's supposed to be helpful, or for at this point it really is more of a aesthetic thing. But the shaft is shorter. It does fit nice in the hand, but because of the shorter bit of it, it does kind of rest somewhere differently. It is definitely plastic, and I can see the mold line pretty easily, especially over here in the hook area. Looks like it's not quite as smooth, but it doesn't feel like it's catching, so that's good. And the solid color is nice, but it is really slick. Feels like maybe if it was warm or your hand was getting sweaty, it would be a little bit more difficult to hold on to this hook. But all in all, I think it's an interesting design, and I think pretty affordable if this is the kind of handle you were looking for. And of course, the third hook here is the Furls crochet hook. This is completely wooden finished, and then I believe it's got some sort of coating on it, probably a lacquer. It's got a really nice hook, pointy end, long shaft, and a very nice and tapered bulbous end here. Fits nice in the hand. It's smooth, it's warm. It's definitely a warm touch versus plastic or metal, which can be kind of cool. So I do like that about this hook. It's nice and long with a long shaft, and the end here is tapered and rounded, so that's something that I really like about this hook as well. So out of those three, I decided to take those, and then I did a swatch. So this is using Karen Cakes in the pumpkin spice colorway. It was something that I just had a little bit left over, and I wanted to give these hooks a shot. So I did 4 rows each with each hook. So the nice thing is I got 8 rows, and then right here where the color change is where I use the 3rd hook. So the first hook was my Furls crochet hook up to about here. Then the second hook was this Yarnology hook with the floral design. And then the orange was the bulbous end hook. I'm going to call it that, the bulbous end hook. And I have to say, there doesn't seem to be much of a difference in terms of the gauge it creates. It seems to have a pretty similar shape all the way up and all the way across. I didn't seem to really have any trouble making any of the stitches. I did notice, though, after using the 2 with the longer shaft, that using the shorter shaft was a little bit of a different experience because the yarn sat on the hook a little bit differently, whereas when I was using one of these with the longer shaft, where I'd gotten used to being able to put the yarn kind of back here to work the stitch because of just the hand movements that I make, and where I keep my finger to hold the yarn, with this hook, it's up here, and so there's a lot less space, and it's a little different. The movements are a little different, the mechanics of it. So this was definitely an interesting hook to use, but by about the 3rd row, I got the hang of it, and things didn't really seem to be a problem. I did notice, using this hook, that the yarn kind of squeaks across this. It's not a noticeable sound, it's more of a feel. It's kind of that squeaky feel like acrylic sometimes has, because this is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. So it did kind of squeak across this a little bit. You could feel it as I was crocheting, I could feel that. But that being said, it was still very smooth, almost comparable to the Furls hook. And you'll notice here that the Furls hook is even longer than this Yarnology one. But the shaft length is very similar. The shaft starts to get wider at about the same point. So it really is more about the handle on these two. They also have a very similar pointiness. Anyway, so that was what I noticed with this one, is that there was a bit of a squeak here. I did like holding it. I liked that I felt like I wasn't going to drop it. I did like where it rests in my hand while using it. I could say the same about this Furls crochet hook. I really like how this holds. I like how it's teaching me to think a little bit more differently about my technique. I'd have to say that about both of the ones with longer shafts. The technique is a little different. The hand movements are different just because of how you have to hold it. So out of these 3 hooks, I mean, I am a little bit biased. I love my Furls crochet hook, and I love how warm it is. I think when I'm thinking about the hooks that I like the warmth, I like how it feels in the hand, I like the smoothness of using it. This hook really grips yarn and pulls through. I rarely snag or cause any other issues or grab like 1 ply out of the 4. This hook seems to do really well with a lot of jobs. But if I couldn't get this hook, which, by the way, this was a gift, so I did not purchase this myself. This was a gift from a friend. If I were to buy hooks myself, and I do have several other hooks, but I really wanted to give 2 new ones a shot, I would have to pick this one with the floral design. It's $3, and it's amazing for the price. It's a beautiful design. It's a well made. The grip is wonderful. It's a smooth use. For $6, $5.99, for $6, this just doesn't do the work that I would want it to do. It looks nice, and it's kind of fun to hold and fun to look at, but in terms of functionality, this just really isn't the hook that I would want to go with. The shaft isn't long enough. It really is just an aesthetic hook to me than an actual practical hook. So if I was going to give my top pick out of the 3 in terms of price and usability, I'm going to go with this $2.99 floral hook from Yarnology at Hobby Lobby. You can find them in the tools and notions aisle of your local Hobby Lobby. I believe they probably also have it online. The only thing it's called is a luxury crochet hook, so you'll definitely want to see, make sure you're looking at the right ones. But go to your Hobby Lobby, check this out, see if you like it, and I do plan to do more reviews of different hooks in the future. And so thank you for joining me for this review, and I will see you again very soon here on the Budget Knitted Podcast channel. Thanks. Bye.